So, let's begin.
So, when you think of the Zaporozhian Cossacks, you probably picture these incredibly fierce, freedom-loving warriors, right? The masters of the Ukrainian steppe. But what if I told you there's a whole other side to their story? A hidden history, one filled with magic, ancient power, and a secret order of sorcerers that goes way beyond just being good with a sword.
And this quote just nails the classic image of the Cossack, doesn't it? These weren't just soldiers. They were like the living embodiment of a certain spirit, a mix of raw courage and this absolutely fierce, almost holy devotion to their own freedom. It was everything to them.
And they definitely looked the part. People back then described them as just rugged, powerful guys, tanned from the sun, instantly recognizable by those long mustaches and, of course, the iconic ozolets. That's that single long lock of hair on a shaved head, a style that has roots deep in ancient warrior traditions.
But here's the thing, their personalities were a total study in contrasts. To their enemies, they were absolutely merciless, just relentless in a fight. But to their own brothers in arms, they were the most loyal, generous friends you could possibly imagine. Stealing from a comrade could get you killed, but taking plunder from an enemy? Well, that was just part of the job.
Okay, and this is where the historical record gets a little weird. Because right alongside all the accounts of their incredible skill in battle, there are these other stories, these legends that just refuse to go away. Legends that say some of these Cossacks were wielding something way more powerful than steel.
So let's dive into that, shall we? It's time to pull back the curtain on this secret order of warrior-sorcerers.
They were called the Kharakternyky. The word itself sort of hints at having a special character or inner nature. These were the guys who were believed to have these deep, supernatural powers. They weren't just warriors, they were warrior shamans, warrior-sorcerers.
Honestly, the best way to get your head around it today, think of them as the original Ukrainian Avengers, or maybe the X-Men, a kind of secret order of superpowered dudes dedicated to protecting their people.
And get this, the list of things they could supposedly do is just wild. They were said to be immune to bullets, unless they were cast from silver. They could shapeshift into wolves, they could control the weather, they could walk on water, heal wounds that should have been fatal, even catch scorching hot cannonballs with their bare hands. And they could cast a glamour, a kind of illusion, to make entire armies invisible, or make the enemy see a forest where there were only men. I mean, just imagine the psychological impact of that. The battle was half won before it even started.
So you gotta ask yourself, where on earth did these beliefs come from? Was it all just tall tales told around a campfire, or was there something deeper going on? Let's dig into the ancient roots of this power.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because the Cossacks were basically living a spiritual double life. On the one hand, they were devout Orthodox Christians, famous defenders of the church. But under the surface, the traditions of the Kharakternyky were plugged into something much, much older, pre-Christian paganism. They drew their power from nature, from ancient rituals, from knowledge passed down for generations.
And this wasn't something they just made up. Researchers see a direct line connecting the Kharakternyky to these incredibly ancient traditions. You can see parallels to warrior castes in India, the Kshatriyas, and even to old European cults of warrior werewolves. It suggests this mystical path is literally thousands of years old. So, as you can imagine, this created some serious tension. Even as the Cossacks were being celebrated as heroes of the faith, the official Orthodox Church was looking at the Kharakternyky with deep suspicion, often accusing them of straight-up sorcery. They were trying to live in two worlds at once, the world of Christian faith and the world of ancient natural magic.
But this legend didn't just fade away with time. Not at all. In this last section, let's see how these echoes of magic kept ringing through the centuries, right into our modern world.
If you need one name, one single person who embodies the Kharakternyky, it's gotta be Ottoman Ivan Sirko. Now this was a real guy, a historical figure from the 1600s, but his military genius was so off the charts that fact and legend just kind of melted together. They say he fought in hundreds of battles and never, ever lost. His victories were so total that people could only explain it as magic, which terrified his enemies and gave his own men unbreakable confidence.
But maybe the most incredible story about him actually takes place after he died. The legend says that Sirko made his men promise that when he passed, they would cut off his right hand and carry it with them into battle.
As long as his hand was there, his undefeated spirit would be there too, leading them to victory. What a powerful symbol of his magical legacy, right?
And this myth just kept evolving. By the 19th century, you had folklorists traveling around writing down all these oral stories and preserving them. And now, in the 21st century, the Kharakternyky is having a total rebirth. He's a powerful figure in Ukrainian fantasy novels, in movies, in video games, introducing this ancient warrior-sorcerer to a whole new generation.
So you see, the Kharakternyky is so much more than just a cool old story. This figure has become a potent national symbol. It represents an unbreakable spirit, incredible resilience, and this idea that there's a deep, hidden well of power within the people that can rise to meet any challenge.
And that really leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? The story of the Kharakternyky is this amazing reminder that the legends we tell about our heroes, they aren't just about the past. They are living things that help shape who we are today and who we want to become tomorrow. It makes you wonder, right? How are the myths of our own heroes shaping us right now?